Brace yourself for the narcissist's downfall. What is and what causes narcissistic collapse? When the narcissist's phony mask inevitably cracks, are you prepared to handle the ugly fallout? Get ready to witness the dismantling of the disordered creature once and for all. What is the narcissist's puny ego built on? At the core of all narcissists is a vast inner wasteland where self-worth should exist. These empty emotional vampires feel only excruciating shame about the defective loser lurking underneath their cobbled-together bragging and bluster.
Collapse.
Narcissists construct a flimsy facade to conceal their pathetic inadequacies and instead present a counterfeit image of superiority. But this cheap veneer is fragile. It disintegrates like a sandcastle at high tide when exposed. The narcissist's counterfeit persona requires non-stop validation through attention, praise and control just to exist. Their shaky house of cards collapses when the worship and supply gets withdrawn, leaving the terrified narcissist naked as the powerless pretender they are. What demolishes the narcissist's bogus mask? Public humiliation is kryptonite to narcissists who rely on managing impressions. Imagine the horror when the world sees them fall flat on their face after bragging how amazing they are. Status crushed. Or when their actual limited skills get exposed in real competition against accomplished people. Their fantasy of being the ultimate winner is bulldozed by cold, hard reality.
You're worth nothing!
Another mask destroyer is the narcissist's ugly behaviour and deceit being exposed. With their flawless image shattered, their drug of choice, worshipping followers providing ego strokes, disappears. Essentially, any scenario where the real flawed human behind the fictional persona is revealed can induce a harrowing identity crisis for the narcissist. How does the unmasked narcissist desperately try to salvage their image?
So you know how they feel.
When the counterfeit mask slips, the narcissist acts out many ugly tactics, trying in vain to protect it, like blame shifting. They attempt to make others feel guilty for their downfall. Rage. They have toddler-like meltdowns trying to deflect accountability. Projection. They pathetically accuse others of their own deep flaws. Victimhood. They laughably paint themselves as noble martyrs under attack. Contempt. They display disgust toward those they fully rely on, biting the hands that feed them. Of course, their feeble defenses fail spectacularly, further shattering their fragile facade. The narcissist descends into full-blown instability. What is the psychology of a collapsing narcissist? With their mask destroyed, the narcissist endures sheer psychological agony. Their deeply buried feelings of inadequacy, previously numbed by the fictional persona, roar to the surface like a volcanic eruption.
He can hurt me.
Some symptoms of their harrowing mental state include withdrawal. They hide away to avoid scrutiny. Depression. Crushing despair follows the loss of their drug, worship and glory. Recklessness. They chase highs as their mind unravels. Paranoia. Their house of lies makes them see sabotage everywhere. Desperation. They crave supply and control like an addict going through withdrawals. The collapse means annihilation of the only identity they have, the counterfeit public one. The dysfunctional narcissist has been fully exposed as a fraud. To what depraved lows will a narcissist go to regain their precious supply? The narcissist, now unmasked, acts out sociopathic behaviours in a frantic scramble to rebuild their battered ego and get their fix of supply, including
I am offended, I am angry.
They manipulate loved ones using every underhanded trick to elicit sympathy and concern. Sob stories galore. They gain praise through exaggerated tall tales, casting themselves as victims of terrible oppressors. Oscar-worthy performances.
I am so angry.
As a final resort, they threaten violence or blackmail to regain a sense of power and importance. Truly unhinged behaviour. Like a rabid animal backed into a corner, the narcissist's quest to avoid their true wretched self consumes them. They follow base urges with no thought of consequences. Does the narcissist fully recover after collapse, or deteriorate further? If through depraved measures they resuscitate their persona, they resume exploiting without an ounce of insight. They continue gorging on supply, oblivious to the havoc left in their wake. However, some narcissists nosedive so far down the abyss they cannot reconstruct their mask and regain equilibrium. Their world goes down in flames. This group descends into full-blown addiction, institutionalization, incarceration, or suicide. The void within swallows them whole, having expanded past the point of no return. Rarely, hitting rock bottom provides a much-needed revelation. In a moment of clarity, the collapsed narcissist realizes the brokenness of their patterns. They then seek professional help to dismantle dysfunctional defenses and build authentic self-worth. Why does collapse devastate narcissists? The threat of full exposure feels like annihilation because destroying their persona destroys their sole source of self-worth. Being exposed as thoroughly average means confronting harsh truths about not being special. Losing the ability to extract worship from others means facing the unbearable void within. Without their mask shielding them, overwhelming feelings of inferiority flood in. Their demand for perfection doesn't allow the smallest failure. Collapse is utter destruction. Essentially, the disorder they've invested their entire being into upholding stands completely naked and vulnerable. Their greatest fear, full transparency, has come to pass. How can you recognize a total narcissistic collapse? Clear signs you are witnessing the full implosion of a narcissist's facade include: they descend into paranoid panic over their image, their worst fear realized. Even small setbacks send them into irrational tailspins. Everything's a catastrophe. They desperately cling to any source of praise or validation. Full addict mode. They have public meltdowns blaming imagined persecutors. Woe is me. Uncharacteristic depression, insecurity, and dejection appear. They hide away to avoid situations where their superiority could be challenged. They chase highs and load up on new supply sources to numb the pain. Should you warn new targets about the emotional vampire? When your narcissistic ex discards you for a new victim, it's tempting to warn them about the bloodsucker's tricks. But in-depth accounts often backfire. Your kind intentions can be used against you. The assassin convinces new targets you're just a bitter liar. Plus, over-explaining your story appears over-invested. Allow new partners to detect the red flags themselves. A simple heads-up shows compassion. My ex love bombs, then ghosts when stressed. It's their pattern. Give new targets wisdom seeds to plant. How should you respond if their collapse affects you? If still dealing with a narcissist experiencing collapse, enforce healthy boundaries instead of caving to guilt trips. Avoid excess sympathy for crises they created. Don't soothe their pity parties or exaggerated victimhood. That enables entitlement. Continuing to prop them up also enables the disorder. Keep conversations unemotional, calm, and logistical. Create space from endless drama. Withdraw attention for outbursts and boundary stomping over time. Don't reward unhealthy behaviours. Stay grounded in reality. Allow natural consequences to inspire change, rather than shielding them from their choices indefinitely. Your composure plants seeds for self-reflection. Does the narcissist hate themselves or the world during collapse?
They hate it.
Self-loathing narcissists direct anger inwards during spiralling depressions. Occasional clarity makes them realise they alone created this nightmare. Meanwhile, unrepentant narcissists rage at the world for daring to see through their lies. They blame heartless persecutors for sabotaging their assumed greatness and entitlement. Self-loathing shows potential for growth and change. But projecting outwards only breeds more destruction. Refusing accountability keeps them trapped in fantasyland. What techniques can help narcissists rebuild after collapse? Hitting rock bottom offers pivotal insight most narcissists avoid at all costs. With patient guidance, collapse can motivate abandoning the empty rewards of fictional personas for authentic empowerment. Techniques that help include identifying and challenging self-limiting beliefs like, I'm worthless without admiration. Learning self-soothing skills to handle intense emotions like shame constructively. Exploring core childhood wounds driving defensive behaviours. practicing genuine self-acceptance, imperfections and all. Taking small steps to make amends without self-judgment. Are you collapsing? Signs you desperately seek external validation. Do you exhibit any symptoms of narcissistic collapse? Here are signs you may rely too heavily on others for self-worth. You're excessively bothered by even minor criticism. Your self-esteem skyrockets or plunges based on outside praise or attention. You frequently judge yourself as above or below others. Mistakes feel like indictments warranting extreme shame. You exaggerate talents to impress others and fear being publicly outdone. You obsess over being overlooked in favour of others. The good news: awareness is the first step toward change. Seek support to develop authentic self-worth, anchored within. You deserve freedom from the roller coaster of basing your worth on outside validation. Can you ever fill the endless pit of narcissistic hunger? Despite your most dedicated efforts, you simply cannot fill the endless narcissistic void. Their endless demands stem from inner demons no external rescue can remedy. Their contaminated thinking patterns resist logic. Exhausting yourself to prop up their fragile ego will only drown you both. Don't keep bailing water out of their sinking ship when it's destined to pull you under too. Let go of the mindset you alone can save them. Put your oxygen mask on first, create space to operate from your essence, and model the healthy boundaries they lack. Is the narcissist's hoovering after collapse authentic? Following a spectacular collapse, expect hoovering please like, I'm so lost without you. Seeing what I'd become was the wake-up call I needed. I finally know I need help after hitting rock bottom. But narcissists rarely follow through on stated intentions. These proclamations are about securing supply through impression management, not inner work. Reply politely, but remain skeptical. Don't rebond without proof of long-term concrete change. Protect your progress. What red flags indicate more collapse is coming? Not all narcissists fully collapse, but brewing downward spirals reveal themselves through desperately clinging when sources try to break free. Having hair-trigger reactions to even minor criticism. Becoming paranoid about imagined sabotage. Rapidly cycling romantic partners and friends. Compulsively chasing highs and new supply. Public meltdowns trying to regain admiration. Refusing to take responsibility and forever playing the victim. Their refusal to address core issues fuels the chaos that consumes them. Avoid getting taken down with them. Why is the narcissist's conditional love worthless? The narcissist judges your worth based on supply you provide. Their pseudo-love instantly vanishes when you cease serving their needs. Genuine self-esteem comes from within. Their rollercoaster assessment of you reflects their disorder, not your value. Don't be tempted by hoovering after collapse. Their love will never fulfill you. It's counterfeit. Does witnessing the narcissist's collapse reveal anything about your own journey? Seeing behind the narcissist's facade provides insight into your own path. Get curious and ask yourself, how can this experience help me identify unmet needs requiring care? What boundaries need strengthening for healthier relationships? What aspects of myself felt silenced that now need expression? Use their disorder as a mirror to cue deeper self-discovery, compassion and empowerment, the treasures they tragically undermine within themselves. Is perfectionism sabotaging your joy and connection? The narcissist's inability to accept imperfection is a cautionary tale for us all. Early wounds convinced them flawlessness equaled worthiness, a tragic misconception. Our cracks generate potential for growth, not self-attack. Pressure to hide our frailties leads to chronic emptiness. Owning our vulnerabilities invites interconnection. The only antidote to shame is unconditional self-acceptance, imperfections and all. Perfectionism kills fulfillment. May we bravely embrace our fragile humanity, releasing judgment of the parts we were conditioned to reject as messy or unwanted. Our life purpose is not generating facades, but uncovering wholeness as perfectly imperfect beings. Are you ready for the fallout? When the narcissist crumbles? The narcissist's collapse results from avoiding inner work at all costs. By understanding their coping mechanisms, we gain insight without enabling their disorder. Their unraveling provides opportunities to model accountability and compassionate boundaries. Some narcissists fall hard, while others keep perpetuating dysfunction just shy of total ruin. As we wrap up, I want to thank you for joining me on this journey to understand, expose, and heal from narcissistic abuse tactics. Knowledge truly is power when it comes to overcoming manipulation. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to empower more truth-telling and support our community of survivors seeking liberation. And if these videos have provided you comfort and resonance, I sincerely appreciate you taking a moment to click the YouTube thanks button below this video. Your validation means the world and motivates us to keep creating content to raise awareness. For an even deeper level of contribution, click the join button next to subscribe to provide ongoing fuel for our shared mission of healing. Together, we can break cycles of abuse one insight at a time. Onward. Either way, the narcissist's deep fragility persists, even if their masks still stand. May we each find the courage to face our own shadows, nurturing authentic empowerment instead of seeking it externally. The journey to wholeness awaits. Walk boldly,